Hey friends, welcome back to the Gentleman's Journey and welcome back to the shop. Here we are doing the video that you guys have asked for some time. This is what I'm calling the ultimate Chelsea boot review. So I have everything lined out here. We're gonna go through them quickly. I'm gonna tell you what's my favorite to my least favorite. We're gonna talk about all the different options here and my history with them. Gonna try to do it as quick as possible. It's gonna be a lot of fun, so hang out for this video. So no messing around here. I want to let you guys know what my favorite Chelsea boot is. So if you've watched my different videos, my boot collection 2021 up to 2024, you'll see that I have a lot of Chelseas and always growing. These are my latest here, but my favorite so far as of 2025 are going to be these ones here. This is the Red Wing Hawthorn Mule Skinner, and this is their Chelsea boot. So over the years, Red Wing has produced different Chelsea boots. This is a current one. They have it in smooth skin or this rough out, the Hawthorn Mule Skinner, and it has been a very good boot for me. Now on my least favorite is gonna be the Georgia Giant Romeos, and I don't know if some of you think that these should be included. So kind of second least is the Redbacks, and if you've been a longtime subscriber, you're probably freaking out right now because these have been my favorite boots of all time. However, I gotta be honest with you guys, and as I develop, I wanna let you guys know and make sure you have the opportunity to develop with me or argue me and let me know which boots you guys think should be number one and which one should be the last. Let me know if you guys have Chelsea boots. Maybe you have a brand that's not on the table here. It's becoming a wildly popular boot. I think it was a little slow to make its way popular in America, but it is growing. Of course, you're not going to see Blundstones here. That was the first ever Chelsea boot I tried in. Long before I started the Gentleman's Journey, I went to a mall, tried on some of those, and they just were too tight around the ankles. So I really didn't even like those. I took them off, and that was that. Years later, after I had the Redbacks, I ordered some of those, and I got the wrong size, but I thought they were too cheaply made, and I felt like their marketing was lying a bit about where they're made. They're made in Asia now, and they really boast the Australian thing, and they're just not an Australian made boot anymore. So I sent them back. I might get some of those again in the future just because so many of you guys say I should give it another try. At any rate, let's talk a little more about my favorite, and then we'll make our way down the line. So this boot is going to be my favorite. It's also the most expensive boot here. It's American made. You know, there's never been a better time in America to shop local, to shop with your neighbors, and to shop American. Even though I love these other companies, and it's not for me necessarily that other people can't make good quality products. I don't agree with that. But with tariffs and different stuff going on, I would just say it's nice to know that you're supporting your brothers and sisters here locally. I would say Red Wing is very competitive, not only worldwide, but even in the States with Pacific Northwest bootmakers and stuff like that. They're able to come in at a pretty good price point and get you guys a great product. Some of the things I've noticed is there's basically no outsole left on this guy. I have wore these things in pretty bad, but they've done well for me. I've put a lot of miles on them. The elastic stretch here is kind of wearing out. And then probably the worst thing of all is there's a hole developing right here. So that's the crease and a bit of a hole. So I'm thinking I want to resole these at some point. There's a lot of really good cobblers out there. I got a buddy who could do that, but let me know in the comments if you guys have a cobbler you think I should collaborate with. I could ship these out and get something on there. Let me know if you think I should go with that same crepe wedge outsole or maybe something different. So there's different ways to go with it, but my plan was to keep wearing them until this got a lot worse, but I'm worried about this hole right here. These are gonna be leather lined, so are the rest of them. I think this leather is amongst the thickest of anything on the table here. So that's another thing I can appreciate. They have the single pull tab instead of two, like you'll see. Pretty slender profile compared to some of them. It has the Goodyear welt, so of course it's completely resolable. And with the Goodyear welt, rather than maybe something like the stitch down over here, it just makes for a little bit more sleek profile, but I really like those boots. Number two is gonna be the Jim Green Stockman with the tire wedge outsole. And these guys are built like a tank, so I love them. They are South African boot company. I've done a video cleaning them. I did, my original review. and at some point we'll get into a 1-year review and stuff like that. They're leather lined, and I think their leather is sourced in South Africa. Really good leather. I do have a bent towards the smooth leather. Red Wing has this boot in the smooth skin, and I would prefer that over the rough out. I really like the cleaning and the polishing process is a lot better for me with leather like this. So a tough call there between those two. This does have a little bit wider toe box. They're always known to be a pretty wide boot and across the board. But let me know if you guys have had this one. It makes it in number 2. It could almost be number 1 because of some of the shortcomings of the Red Wings, but I would run out and buy these again with no problem. The next one is going to be my most recent boot, and that's my Thursday general purpose, and this is again in their rough out. So you can see it really coming through nowadays. When I first got it, it looked polished. Like it really looked like it was almost smooth skin. This boot has been extremely comfortable. Thursday boots are always awesome for me. I swear by them. I think it's a really good quality. Of course, from here over is all going to be reconstructable. These two are not. This one technically is. Please don't waste your money resoling those because you can just go out and buy another pair. But these guys are completely resolable. I've put over 90 miles in these. I just got that video released not too long ago, and they are running really well. You'll see on the bottom, the outsole is already showing signs of wear over that month and a half, and that's just like these guys. Any of that crepe wedge is going to be softer. It's going to wear out more easy than the rubber. We'll see how they do in a year. I would say it's a little bit thinner leather than these two, but again, made in Mexico. Mexico is where a lot of really good boots are made. I have no dramas with that. I think they do great work down there, and I continue to trust Thursday. So kind of a sleeker profile than the Jim Green boots there because of the Goodyear welt, where this is going to have the stitch down, and that's going to just make it a little bit wider, a little more clunky. I think the leather and everything is a little bit better on these Jim Greens. That's why these are number 3 position. Next up is going to be the Rossi 301s. I believe these are the 301s. The reason they look so nice and the outsole is so good is because I had to stop wearing them. They are too small for me. And so that's the problem. Most everything on this table is 11.5, and these are 11s. And honestly, that is a bummer for me because up until I got these boots, these were my favorite. And then when I saw these, I could just tell they're made just a scotch better. Everything's a little bit better quality on them. It's hard to say which outsole you prefer. It's a little bit more slender of a profile, and I think it dresses up a little bit better. Probably across the whole table, this one would dress up the most. It looks the least of a work boot, but they were too small, and so I don't wear them anymore. I'm gonna have to get Rossi's in size 11.5. I don't care for black a lot. I don't have a lot of black boots. It's for whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe I need to venture out and try more. I've wanted some black boots, like, you know, a cap toe, kind of a service style boot, something like that I might get into in the future. But at any rate, the next one is my long lasting favorite boot. This one I would still run out and buy tomorrow. Run and gun. After not wearing it for a while, I would say it seems a little too wide. And I don't know if I got an 11, if it would be shorter or just more narrow. So I think people have talked about that in the past. I'd have to research that again. But really, I think the length is good for me. Just maybe a little bit too wide, but I've never had blisters or anything. That's the weird thing about these guys. I've just never really had any issues. No blisters or nothing. I do remember when I first got these and they were brand new, my truck got stuck or something, and I got them completely bogged, and I was standing in the marsh muck for over an hour, and I always wondered if that stretched it out. That's kind of frustrating because I still wonder if maybe 11.5 is perfect for me, but I just got these kind of swamped out. Lastly over here is going to be these fellas. These guys were made popular by loggers in the Pacific Northwest. Come down off the mountains and want to get out of their 10-inch lace-ups into something a little more practical, a little more comfortable. either head home to their wives or go to the pub and just kick around. Again, another one that I've really put through their paces, but I don't think it takes a lot. I think these guys are gonna be donezo in about a year of solid use. And if this is your everyday boot, you might only get 8 months. I would say if you wore them just in the evenings and you had a work boot during the day, you might get 2 years out of them. Not worth resoling or anything like that in my estimation, because the inner is falling apart. Honestly, the elastic band is falling apart, and that's just how it is now. So even if the leather was kind of okay, this goofy rubber bumper I think wouldn't last either. Georgia Giant, they have another Chelsea boot just like these, and then believe it or not, they just came out with another one of these Romeos that's more lightweight, so that's only gonna last less time. So let me know, guys, what Chelsea boot do you have? What's in your closet? Do you think I'm wrong? Should one of these be bumped up? What would you buy if you had to choose from this table? Would love to hear from you guys, but I'll tell you what, this is the kind of stuff we're doing over here at the Gentleman's Journey. Got a bunch of fun stuff, more boots, more camping, more guy-related stuff, menswear. So make sure and subscribe and hang back for more videos. Until the next one, guys, God bless. And hey, don't forget to give your boots some love from time to time.